Welcome back to the channel. This is Floyd. I'm Brad. In today's video, we're going to be taking a tour of my apartment. But before we do, I want to give a huge shout out to all of you. October 19th of this year will be a full year on YouTube. We've surpassed 1,000 subscribers. The channel is monetized.
How do you like them apples?
Thank you so much to you all for the support, for watching, for commenting. I also want to give a big shout out to Koala, who is a sponsor for today's video, and more on that later. If you haven't seen me before, I just moved from St. Louis to Seattle. I moved from a 540 square foot studio to this space, which is 419 square feet. And in the process, I basically sold all my stuff, which made the flight out here super easy and not very stressful. I had a carry-on suitcase and a backpack with all my camera gear, and that was it. So general highlights of the apartment before we get into everything else. It is 419 square feet. The base price for rent is $17.45 a month. All in all, with utilities and everything else, roughly about $2,000 a month. It's in the heart of the city. It's very walkable to everything. There's a ton of bars and restaurants and stuff to do around this area. It's a pretty big apartment complex. It's got a courtyard. It's got a rooftop with great views of Seattle. It was hard to find an apartment complex with a good gym out here. So that was one of the important things that I was looking for. And the other thing that I had to get used to is there's no AC. There is an option to rent an AC unit, but I actually adapted to this pretty quickly. Giant window. That's something else I didn't really have in my other space. It got a good amount of natural light, but this makes a world of difference, especially when it is on the cloudier, rainier days. Having that giant window with good air circulation and all that, huge difference. For my car subscribers that still follow me, you've probably been wondering why I haven't been posting about my car. It's because I didn't bring it with me. To have my car here would have been an additional $275 a month for a garage spot.
No, I am not willing to do that.
And I wouldn't be driving it. As big of a car guy as I actually am, financially it made no sense to have the car here, and I'll get into that more in another video. Okay, so the first thing is the little entryway area. This was actually one of the items that I brought with me. It's what I actually use as my coffee table beforehand, but now it's just an entryway bench. This is the one item I was thinking of selling since it fit here, ended up holding on to it. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. I don't want to flood this place with stuff. That is the biggest thing that you have to watch with a small space, and it forces you to not bring in a lot of things. A little bit of space to store some shoes or books. All right, the next thing is the closet, which seems ridiculously small, probably to a lot of you, but since I don't have a lot of stuff anyway, it actually fits everything that I need. It's just wide enough to fit the hamper, which is nice to keep that down below. All the clothes stored up top. It's got an extra shelf up top where I store some of my headsets for work, as well as the pillows and blankets that I use for my sofa bed. Behind the hamper too, it actually has a little bit more depth, so it's probably the only box I've ever kept in my life. It's for the Apple Studio display. So moving from the entryway to the bathroom is huge for the studio apartment. Huge countertop, all this storage in here. Shaved handles, which is another theme you'll see in the kitchen, which kind of the illusion of a little bit more space, keeps everything nice and clean. The biggest call out about the bathroom though is the pocket door. From my old apartment, the washer and dryer and the dishwasher being more so out in the main space, when you would have either of those running, it was very hard to take work calls or watch TV without having to jack the volume up because it was just so noisy out in the main area. This pocket door just being able to close when the washer and dryer is actually running really does a good job at blocking out a lot of that noise. Another big call out, the floating sink. Not only do you have a ton of storage on the countertop, but you have all of this space underneath. Other than that, pretty basic bathroom, basic shower, It is a tub shower too, so you got both there. And then all the cabinet space to store additional clothes. I don't like buying an additional dresser or something like that that takes up more room out in the main area. So, and then you have the whole bottom part, which you can hold extra toilet paper and all that kind of cleaning supply stuff. All right, so moving on to the kitchen area. It's the entire width of the living space, mixed with the fact that it's integrated everything. Integrated dishwasher, fridge, freezer, all of those have the same faces as the rest of the cabinets. Makes it look really nice. Microwave's integrated into the bottom, and then it has an electric stovetop that's flush with the countertop. The dishwasher, it's a Bosch dishwasher, super silent.
It's quiet. Yeah, too quiet.
And when you have a dishwasher out in your main space, specifically for a smaller space like a studio, such a nice bonus. Another big call out is the integrated lighting up top. This lighting is all I use at night for watching movies and stuff. So I don't even use the overheads in the space. Mixed with the fact that it has white countertops, it really does reflect the light and kind of bounce it off the countertop into the rest of the apartment. The overhead vent is also something unique that I haven't seen or had in my other place. The vent you pull out and it immediately turns on to setting 1, 2, 3, however powerful you set it at. So now being in the main space of the living room, thank you again to Koala for sponsoring today's video. They actually didn't sponsor my first video when I originally bought this couch. It got a lot of views and I reached out to them directly to partner with me for a couple of my upcoming videos. Through that sponsorship, they sent me this sofa for free. The bigger one is a 70-inch. It's listed as a 3-seater on their website. For 3 of me, it's more of a 2.5-seater. I'm 165 pounds, 6 feet tall. This sofa, the 70-inch, is $1,695. It's in paper bark gray. I absolutely love the aesthetic. I love the color. It's super comfortable. Nice firm mattress, so it's really held its shape well. I love the rounded edges of the armrests and the side pillows. You've heard me talk about that if you watch my other reviews on it, but I really think that gives it a designer look, and it's something more unique that I haven't seen in a lot of other sofa beds specifically. So that was a big thing that really drew my eye to this sofa. And I like the fact that it actually sits lower to the ground too. That low profile, I think, just gives it a nice clean look. The reason why I talked to them about sending me this one, I really wanted to utilize this full L of the wall space to have a lot of seating area in this little apartment. At 46 inches, this is listed as a 1.5-seater. It's a nice cozy chair. You can use it as like a reading chair. I bounce back and forth to switch it up for watching movies. I just love the continued aesthetic too, that it matches with the pillows that overhang. It's in the same color, paper bark gray. This one is priced at $11.95. Their website's linked below. If you're curious and you like this style of sofa, definitely hit me up if you have any questions too. And like I said, I did 2 reviews on the bigger sofa. If you want me to get into more detail, go check those out. I didn't want a huge bed comforter. Before, in my previous apartment, I had this nice down-filled comforter. It just takes up a lot of space. I was really on the hunt for a throw blanket is kind of what I was going for. Something warm, but something that could lay on the sofa during the day when I put the bed up that looks like it's supposed to actually be there.
And it feels so good.
This is my work from home station. It's where I do all my video editing, and it's how I watch TV shows and movies. If you have been following me for a while, you probably saw a similar setup from my last apartment. In that, I realized some of the things that I didn't need and some of the things that I actually wanted. Tried to simplify it even more with eliminating some cables and some power bricks that were in my other setup. First thing on the list to talk through is the Knoll Newson task chair. The spec that I got, it's the color umber, it has the chrome legs, and it has the height adjustable high performance arms. It's the most comfortable chair that I've sat in. I did a whole separate video about this chair, so if you want to see more details, I'll have it linked below. You do have to get used to the seating positioning a little bit. It has a design that's really not like other chairs out there on the market. It almost follows the natural curve of your body. It's not straight up and down. You do have a little bit of curve, and it feels a little bit weird at first on your neck. You might notice a little bit of strain as your body kind of gets used to that new position. Just for a couple days, it wasn't painful, I wouldn't say, but it just took some getting used to. Once you get past that, super comfortable, and it does just naturally, you just kind of fall back into it. The seat itself is really comfortable. The rubber backing for the honeycomb back stays cool because of the material that it's made out of. I sit in this all day for work. Then for YouTube, I'll sometimes edit videos for a few hours after work. So a chair to me was really important, and I had no problem paying the extra money as long as it lived up to the hype. And in my opinion, it totally does. So the next thing is the desk. The desk is from Blue Dot. It's the stash desk in white oak. The drawer is really nice, and then the desk itself has rounded edges, which ties into some of the other things that I got in my apartment. I really like the size and the depth. I think it's perfect for the amount of things that I have. So the laptop is a pretty basic spec for a Mac. It's a 2021 MacBook Pro. It's the 14-inch. It has 16 gigs of RAM and 500 gigs of storage. When I bought it at the time, I wasn't doing YouTube yet. I basically bought it for photo editing, but since my video editing is pretty simple for the most part, this thing has handled everything I've thrown at it so far. Next is the laptop stand. It's from 12 South. It's called the Book Arc Flex, and I actually got it in chrome. I wanted a stand that kept the laptop off the main part of the desk. You do have to get it in that pocket. There's these rubber bottoms, so you do have to fit it in the pocket, but once it's sitting there, it's not really gonna move. Even with moving the desk to pull it out for TV shows and movies, it stays in place. Next thing on the list is the Apple Studio display. This monitor is amazing. It's crazy expensive for what it is when you compare it to specs of other monitors, but it's also kind of in a niche of its own. So the main things, the things that I love and that really stood out to me about this monitor compared to other ones. It lives up to the hype that you will see in other reviews. The speakers on this thing are incredible. For a smaller apartment, I really only have it up to about halfway volume.
I'm Thomas. And I'm James.
Number 2 for me, no power brick. Trying to eliminate as many cords as possible. Build quality, the stand also. Typically I hate the stands that come with an external monitor if they do. I love the aluminum body. It's a very sleek stand. It's not very big in terms of depth. It's got some weight to it, so everything stays nice and sturdy and it's not wiggling around. I just got the basic spec. So I just got the tilt adjustment. I was not gonna pay $400 for a height adjustable stand to go essentially like 4 inches. I just have mine sitting on a book and I find that to be the perfect height. The other thing is I didn't get the nano texture glass either that helps eliminate glare. I haven't found any issues with there being too much glare on the screen. I also read that the nano texture was a little bit harder to clean. A lot of people said it took some of the punchiness out of the colors, dimmed them down a little bit. This one is a 27-inch monitor coming from a 32 to a 27. I really don't notice the difference. I think it's a great size for just everyday use, very color accurate for video editing or photo editing. The other thing I really like is the single USB-C cable for charging. I have a Windows PC for work, and then I have my MacBook Pro that's my personal computer. Any cables that I can eliminate, the better. And the other thing that I heard people just honestly talking shit on a lot was the built-in webcam. I would agree, for what you're paying for this monitor, the webcam's not great, but like, are you really getting the monitor for the webcam? Probably not. I have an older like Dell work PC, and the webcams on the Dell it's not great. It's pretty trash, actually. I honestly think this webcam is an upgrade coming from the PC. The other added bonus is, since you're using an external monitor all the time, you have an actual webcam to look at people on a video call. The biggest quirk to me is you can't adjust the brightness when you have the monitor plugged into your Windows machine. Whatever brightness you have set when your Mac is plugged in, as soon as you plug the USB-C into your Windows, the same brightness carries over. I don't know if that will be a solve in the future or not. And the last thing to hit on is the power cable in the back is fixed to the back of the monitor. If you look online, there is a special tool, or people have taken the cord out, but it takes a lot of effort to get it out of there. I don't think that's that big of an issue. As you'll see from my setup, I have it plugged into a surge protector. Next is the mouse and keyboard. Pretty simple setup. I knew I wanted something wireless. I knew I wanted a USB-C for recharging. Logitech MX Master 3S. So it has the USB-C charger in the front. You can actually use it while it's charging as well. The cool part is you can connect it to 3 different computers. So I have 1 set to my MacBook and then 2 set to my Windows PC. So it's really easy to change between devices. Same setup on the keyboard. 1 goes to my MacBook and 2 goes to my Windows machine. It's the Logitech MX Keys Mini. Battery life seems pretty strong. The next thing is one of the cooler things that I think I found. This was another eliminating cords. I have an iPhone 15 for personal, iPhone 12 for work. This desk mat from Journey, 1 matched the color of my chair. It also comes with a magnetic side piece where it has a MagSafe charger built in, so you can charge your phone and your AirPods at the same time. So the mat hooks up via USB-C. The MagSafe works for both the iPhone 15 and the 12 that I have. It lists on their site on all the models that it works for. My personal iPhone 15 has a rock form case on it that has a built-in magnet, and it still works fine on the charger. The charging station is magnetic. You can have it on the left or the right side. And then you can lift the leather pad up and you can put notes or some pieces of paper in between the felt pad and the leather. And then the back, I was really looking for a compact power strip or surge protector. So that's probably one of the most satisfying things compared to my old desk. I don't have any power bricks. And the other small thing are these little silicone cable ties. I wanted something that stretched around the desk leg. So for the artwork, these 2 I picked up from a company called Tappan. It's a photographer I really like. I think he's based out of New York now, but he used to be based out of LA. His name is Danny Scott Lane. Just does a lot of portraits and just really like his style. Brought that one with me from home and then just picked that one up as kind of a matching set. Also gives the illusion of a little bit more height to the room doing them vertically stacked. This one I also picked up from Tappan. It's by photographers called the Heidies. They also do a lot of portraits. This one I was just really feeling it. And then this section I'm still waiting on. I was thinking like a canvas, maybe Jackson Pollock style that's a little bit more abstract and paint splatter to be like the entire width of the sofa. Thought that might be kind of cool to tie in some of these colors. Maybe a plant over there to fill up some space. All right, so that's really it. Hopefully, maybe you got some inspiration for your place on some of the things that I picked out. My voice is toast because I've been filming for a while, but thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. We're constantly growing day by day, so it's really cool, again, to see the support. Punch the like button below because it does help YouTube recommend this video to other people. And I will catch you on my next video. See ya. About to turn 30. Wow. All right, good start. I mean, you can just fighting the urge to do that scene from Pet Detective so hard. What I'm saying there. Blah. So, nope, not it.